Relationships and Borderline Personality Disorder, BPD, Strategies to Support Someone with BPD in Relationships. Supporting someone with Borderline Personality Disorder, BPD, in relationships can be emotionally challenging but also incredibly rewarding. Individuals with BPD experience intense emotions, mood swings, and a pervasive fear of abandonment, which can create instability in their relationships. However, with the right strategies, those who love, care for, or work with someone with BPD can provide meaningful support and help foster healthier, more stable connections. In this episode of the Borderline Personality Disorder, BPD, podcast, we will explore practical strategies for supporting someone with BPD in relationships, from offering emotional stability to setting healthy boundaries, and how to maintain your own emotional well-being while being supportive. 1. Understanding BPD, educating yourself. The first step in supporting someone with BPD is to understand the nature of the disorder. BPD is characterized by emotional dysregulation, impulsivity, instability in relationships, and a fear of abandonment. This understanding helps in avoiding misinterpretations and reducing frustration when the person with BPD exhibits behaviors like extreme mood swings, emotional outbursts, or clinginess. Recognize symptoms. Knowing that idealization and devaluation, self-harm, and fear of abandonment are part of BPD's symptomatology helps caregivers or loved ones respond with empathy rather than judgment. Practice patience. Recognizing that behaviors are driven by deep emotional pain and not intentional can help foster more compassion and less frustration. 2. Validate their emotions. Validation is one of the most crucial components of supporting someone with BPD. Individuals with BPD often feel that their emotions are either invalid or too much for others to handle. By acknowledging and accepting their feelings without judgment, you provide a sense of emotional security and acceptance, which helps prevent feelings of abandonment. Acknowledge feelings, even if their emotions seem intense or disproportionate to the situation. Validating their emotional experience by saying things like, "I can see that you're feeling hurt right now," or "I understand that you're upset," can go a long way. Avoid dismissing emotions. Don't try to minimize their feelings with phrases like, "It's not a big deal," or "You're overreacting." Instead, empathize with the intensity of their experience, even if the reaction doesn't seem to make sense. 3. Set healthy boundaries. Setting healthy boundaries is essential for maintaining balance and stability in any relationship, especially when one partner has BPD. While individuals with BPD may struggle with boundaries due to emotional instability, it's important to create limits that are clear, consistent, and respectful. Clear communication. Let the person know what you are willing to accept in the relationship, and what is non-negotiable. For example, if emotional outbursts become too overwhelming, express that you need space to calm down before continuing the conversation. Be consistent. Enforce boundaries consistently but with compassion. If boundaries are flexible, the person with BPD may feel emotionally unsafe or uncertain, which can trigger their fear of abandonment or rejection. Balance support and self-care. Setting boundaries also means taking care of yourself. It's important to ensure that you have your own emotional and physical needs met, whether that's through self-care, therapy, or other support systems. 4. Help build emotional regulation skills. While it's not your responsibility to regulate your loved one's emotions, you can encourage and support their efforts to develop better emotional regulation. People with BPD often struggle with managing intense emotions, which can lead to impulsive actions or emotional outbursts. Encouraging them to learn and practice emotion regulation strategies can help them feel more empowered in managing their emotions. Encourage therapy. Support them in seeking treatment, such as dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, which teaches mindfulness, emotion regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness. Help them understand that therapy is an essential part of learning emotional control. Model emotional regulation. Show by example how to manage emotions during conflict. For example, if you feel frustrated or angry, take a moment to breathe deeply, step away from the situation, or use grounding techniques before responding. Modeling these behaviors can encourage them to do the same. 5. Stay calm during emotional outbursts. Individuals with BPD may have emotional outbursts or moments of overwhelming anger. This can be particularly challenging, especially if the anger is directed at you. It's essential to remain calm and avoid escalating the situation, as this can prevent the person with BPD from becoming more distressed. Don't take it personally. Remember that the anger or frustration they express is often a reflection of their emotional pain and fear, rather than a personal attack. Try not to respond defensively or with anger, which could escalate the situation. Give them space. Sometimes, giving the person with BPD space to cool down without abandoning them is helpful. Reassure them that you are there for them when they are ready to talk, but let them know that you need space to process as well. Use calming techniques, if appropriate. Try grounding techniques, deep breathing, or other calming methods to de-escalate the situation. 6. Support self-soothing and coping techniques. Individuals with BPD often have difficulty with self-soothing when overwhelmed by emotions. Encourage them to develop coping skills that help them manage distress in healthy ways. Self-soothing practices suggest activities like listening to calming music, taking a warm bath, engaging in physical exercise, or practicing deep breathing techniques to help reduce emotional intensity. Encourage distraction. When emotional intensity peaks, suggest activities that can help distract them in a healthy way, such as engaging in a hobby, going for a walk, or focusing on an enjoyable task. 7. Manage your own expectations. It's important to recognize that change takes time, especially in relationships where one person has BPD. While you can support and encourage your loved one in their efforts to regulate emotions and improve interpersonal skills, progress will be gradual. Be patient. It may take time for the individual with BPD to develop healthy coping mechanisms, and there may be setbacks along the way. It's important to manage your expectations and understand that healing is a long-term process. Celebrate progress, acknowledge and celebrate any positive changes, even small ones. Encouraging progress reinforces positive behavior and helps the person with BPD feel supported and motivated. 8. Know when to seek professional help. While you can play a significant role in supporting someone with BPD, you should also recognize when professional intervention is necessary. If the person with BPD exhibits harmful behaviors such as self-harm, suicidal thoughts, or extreme emotional distress, it's important to seek professional help immediately. Therapists and counselors encourage the person to seek therapy, particularly DBT, which is designed specifically for individuals with BPD. If you're in a romantic or family relationship, family therapy can also help improve communication and dynamics. Emergency intervention. In cases of extreme emotional crises, such as suicidal ideation, contact a mental health professional, therapist, or a crisis helpline for immediate support. Conclusion. Supporting someone with borderline personality disorder, BPD, in relationships requires patience, understanding, and healthy boundaries. It's important to educate yourself about BPD, validate your loved one's emotions, and encourage the development of emotion regulation skills. Through clear communication, calmness during emotional outbursts, and self-care, you can maintain a balanced and healthy dynamic. Remember, relationships with someone who has BPD can be emotionally demanding, and it's essential to support both them and yourself in managing the complexities of the disorder. If necessary, professional help in the form of therapy and support groups can provide valuable guidance and resources for both individuals with BPD and their loved ones. In future episodes, we will explore more strategies for maintaining healthy relationships and fostering emotional growth for those with borderline personality disorder. Stay tuned for more insights into BPD and its impact on relationships.